As I've been reflecting these past few months, it hit me that baggage of our past holds us captive from our future. Hi winner, I'm Gabe Cox of Red Hot Mindset, and I am glad you're here. If you are ready to lose the baggage of the past and move forward with the future, then you are in the right place. I'm continuing my Injured Runner series, where I've focused on some key principles to keep a positive mindset and continue moving forward despite injury. I slipped on ice running right before Christmas. I messed my ankle up hardcore, endured surgery, and the injury has sidelined me for months. I'm finally walking around, almost normally, sometimes with a brace, but still not back to 100% of where I was. There's a long road of recovery ahead still as I work to gain mobility and strength back into both my foot and ankle. Not only did I lose all of the muscle in my calf and thigh, but I also lost all of it in my foot. It's a couple sizes smaller than my left one. It's actually quite a sight to see when I put my feet together. I look fairly normal walking around right now, but I know that I'm not where I want to be quite yet. The good news is it's finally springtime, and springtime means spring cleaning! It is a season full of decluttering our houses, eliminating the junk that's been piling up, sorting through clothes that kids have outgrown, and donating toys no longer played with. It's a season full of cleaning all the nooks and crannies. Window washing, scrubbing floors, washing walls, all the places we knowingly neglect on a daily, weekly, or even monthly basis. Instead, we wait for the right time to get it all done. It just compiles until the time comes that we can no longer stand the buildup. But there's one more type of cleaning I highly recommend in this season, and that's cleaning out the baggage that may be holding you back. Springtime is the perfect time to dive into this concept. This season is a time to refresh and renew our houses. Why not make it a time to refresh and renew ourselves too? A few videos ago, I posed the question, what is your crutch? I was sharing about how I held onto my crutches way too long, and they held me back from healing as quickly as I could have. In the same way that holding onto something too long can keep you from moving forward, keeping baggage from the past can have the same effect. Throughout my injury, there were some key resources that aided me in my daily life. I had crutches to support me, which were vital whenever there were stairs involved. A friend lent me a shower bag for my leg initially after my surgery so my cast didn't get wet. That was so much easier than figuring out how to tie a bunch of plastic bags together or saran wrap my entire leg every time I wanted to shower. Then there was the shower chair, which was a complete lifesaver. To be honest, I may have gone days or weeks without bathing otherwise. The boot, though extra uncomfortable, stabilized my ankle so it wouldn't get bumped or be messed with. And then I had my scooter to get around easier and have access to my hands. I loved and missed that basket that was on the front of it. So, as helpful as these resources were to me throughout my injury, when I began the journey to walk again, I realized that I needed to be willing to let go of each of these items one at a time, otherwise they would just hold me back. I no longer wanted to dwell on the injury, but rather I wanted to focus on the recovery. In doing so, I also had to rid myself of the trauma I held on to. Paranoia set in for a long stretch where I was so afraid to even walk around for fear that I would slip and fall again. Trauma is real, and we need to be willing to face it in order to let it go. If we don't let it go, we'll remain where we are. Did you know that dwelling on the past can keep us from our promised land? The Israelites wandered the wilderness for 40 years because they were stuck in their past. And that trip should have only taken them about 40 days. They began looking back at their time as Egyptian slaves, but with rose-colored glasses, and they figured it wasn't so bad. They had provision, after all. Justification about the brutal life they survived in Egypt happened all over the place. Their minds tricked them to remember the past as more pleasurable than it was, rather than take responsibility for their future and step into God's call and promises for their lives. As I've been reflecting on these past few months, it hit me that the baggage of the past holds us captive from our future. What's weighing you down? What's reminding you of your past failures or circumstances? What's holding you back? Choose to get rid of the past regrets or painful memories. It's time to clear out the physical and emotional baggage so you can move on intentionally. Today's quote comes from female NASCAR racer Louise Smith, and she says, "You can't reach for anything new if your hands are still full of yesterday's junk." As you embrace this season, are you ready to do some spring cleaning of yourself? To dig deep inside and draw out that baggage, whether emotional or physical, letting go of the past so you can embrace your future? Don't wander in the wilderness for 40 years when your promised land may only be 40 days away. The past can't change, but you can change your future. If you like today's mindset, please give it a thumbs up, light up the subscribe button, and share with others. My mission is to help you break down your mental barriers in the race of life. And I post new videos every Monday about mindset, dreaming huge, and crushing goals. If you missed any of this Injured Runners series, the playlist is right here for you to catch up. Make sure to hit the bell so you will be in the know when the next video comes out. And remember, you are a winner, just run your race.